For the final decade or so, Liam Neeson has been wrenching out generally non-specific software engineers that have no genuine reason to exist other than the trust that one might turn out to be another. Taken, the 2008 thriller that got to be a gigantic around-the-world hit and out of the blue rehashed him as an activity legend. I question I might title half of them without looking up Neeson's IMDb, then once more, I suspect the same goes for him. Be that as it may, the discharge prior this year of Neil Jordan's Marlowe, in which he depicted the incredible criminologist character Philip Marlowe, recommended Neeson was fair as tired with a current filmography comparable to Charles Bronson's within the 80s and needed to do something different, even on the off chance that the comes about did not work. Neeson was attempting to do something commendable of his honest-to-goodness abilities. With his most recent extend, Retribution, anything flashes of exertion were on show in Marlowe have been mercilessly snuffed out. Here may be a film so void of thrills, fervor, or reason that it appears to have been custom-made to play in purge multiplexes amid the customarily dead final weeks of summer. This time around, Neeson plays Matt Turner, a Berlin-based venture financier whose workaholism has driven a wedge between him and his spouse Heather, Embeth Davids, and kids Zach, Jack Winner, and Emily, Lily Aspel. Indeed, on the day he closes up concurring to drive the youthful ones to school, he spends half the ride talking down an anxious speculator at the command of his boss, Matthew Modine, so as not to lose their cash. But sometime recently he can finally drop the kids off. Another call comes in from a riddle phone cleared out within the car. A camouflaged voice then informs him of a pressure-controlled bomb underneath his situate that he incidentally activated when he sat down and which is able to go off in case he tries to exit the car. With his kids stuck within the back and the voice undermining to blow him up remotely on the off chance that he lets anyone know of his predicament or resists orders, making him observe a coworker go boom to demonstrate they aren't clowning, Matt is constrained to drive around doing different errands whereas attempting to figure out who is doing this to him and why. In the interim, the police, driven by Noma Dumazwini, persuaded that he's the aircraft, take after in hot interest. Like a number of these later Neeson activity displays, Revenge could be a redo of an outside film. In reality, in what's maybe the sole curiously thing almost it's really the third redo of the Spanish thriller of the same title, Danny de la Torre's El Desconocido, to rise since that film debuted in 2015. I confess I haven't seen any of the other changes, which incorporate the 2018 German take Don't Get Out, or the 2021 South Korean form Hard Hit, but I can't envision any of them were as absolutely repetitive as this. The screenplay for Revenge by Chris Salmanpour is so dispossessed of anything that might have given it a few qualification. It feels like it was determined from a form of frantic libs for journalists trusting to create the foremost equation-based scripts possible. None of the characters are especially curiously or amiable. The kids, in specific, are so irritating at times that few watchers would have resented Neeson's character on the off chance that he'd chosen to drag over and stretch his legs for a couple of minutes. And Chief Nimrod Antal handles the action beats in a resoundingly excitement-free way. Indeed, the enormous turn within the last scenes is so crashingly self-evident that for all intents and purposes each group of onlookers part will have figured it out long sometime recently it's sent. In the event that Retribution had been the kind of standard issue VOD drag, the kind featured by somebody with an enigmatically recognizable title whose career never quite panned out, I assume that might have been less demanding with the total chintziness Revenge illustrates on essentially each level. But that's not the case here. When given fabric commendable of his abilities, Neeson can still deliver solid and blending exhibitions, and Davids and Modine have too done impressive work within the past. Antal isn't precisely a slump either. He did an awfully curiously 2003 film called Control, worked on a few of scenes of Stranger Things, and I know individuals who will stand by such prior highlights as Vacancy, 2007, Armored, 2009, and Predators, 2010. These are all skilled individuals working on Reprisal. I suppose it's a degree of their stubborn polished skill, in case not their taste in fabric, that they could drag themselves back to the set day after day, long after they must have known there was essentially no chance it would result in something even remotely tolerable. Retribution may be a flop ordained to be deleted from our social memory once it probably withdraws theaters in a few weeks. Concurring to the press discharge, the film guarantees an immersive ticking clock thriller that straps gatherings of people in for a high-octane ride of recovery and revenge. It lovely much comes up short to convey on all tallies. See, on the off chance that you need to see a thriller remake starring Neelson that's worth your time this end of the week, permit me to point you toward Cold Pursuit, in which Neelson plays a snowplow driver in a little Colorado town who employments his abilities to crush the sedate ring that killed his child. In spite of the fact that no magnum opus, it gave Neelson things to do, and the oddball combination of activity, show, and Coen Brothers-style dull humor made for strong B-movie excitement. In comparison, Retribution appears indeed more of a total squander of time, exertion, and vitality than it as of now is.